I live here now. Anyone see Fargo season 5? I guess that might be an outdated reference. It's done. The house is done. Some months ago, maybe for you, just a few videos ago, I was standing right here, a bit fatter than I am now. And all of this was just sand and weeds. And now, suburban wonderland in every direction. Let's take a look inside and out. Here's what you can expect to get for a little over $1 million in Orlando, Florida. Really briefly, I want to talk about this beautiful grass. This totally unnatural, but also wonderful and bushy St. Augustine lawn. We actually got a genetically modified version of this grass called Scott's Pro Vista, where I get to use a chemical called glyphosate, which will kill just about everything, but the grass is resilient to, and will maybe give you cancer if you repeatedly breathe it in daily over the course of many years. It's Roundup. You can use Roundup. But this means that my grass will be this bushy and perfect always, thanks in addition to my also completely unnatural 5-zone programmable irrigation system, which pumps out the perfect amount of water to the grass and landscaping separately. It even measures the rain to account for that. But I can't just sit out here and talk about grass or I'm gonna lose like half the audience. So let's go inside. Look at my driveway. It's made out of bricks. Also, we picked the most like basic suburban package of one black SUV and one black Tesla. I'm just some middle-aged white guy fucking forcing grass to be green in uniform. Really, the only major thing that we wanted from building a new house that we didn't get was a double door front door, but at least this is a really tall door. All of our doors are. Bedroom door, can't reach it. Door to the garage, tall. You want to leap through the doorway to the bathroom? Go for it, geek. Here's the entryway, the foyer, the place where shoes and dog leashes live. Please notice this very adult carpet runner thing. Rugs are pretty awesome and make the house look more pro. Sarah put rugs all over the place, under the beds, under the couch, there's one in the laundry room. Even the entryway to my garage office over there has a nice rug. It really ties the room together. If you take a left, you arrive at our guest room with its own private bathroom. And when there are no guests, this is my private pooping place. And don't worry, Andy, it gets professionally cleaned before anybody comes. We've decorated the walls of the house with pictures I've taken over the years at our various vacations around the world. Currently, the guest room is sporting some views from the jungles of Cambodia and Bali. Even the guest bathroom has a memory of some other ruin near Angkor Wat where it's being overtaken by trees. Really good picture. The main front hallway has a look at the Scottish Highlands. Our dining room looks out into the fjords of Norway. The owner's suite bathroom has one of the sheeps from Stonehenge. Did you know Stonehenge had its own sheeps? We sleep under some shots from the deserts of Egypt and Jordan. The house has a laundry room, which is exciting enough on its own. But this washer dryer is a marvel of technology where not only is it all one thing, like you just put your dirty clothes in and it washes and dries them all in one thing, but it's also a heat pump washer dryer. Fucking love a heat pump. But what this means for a washer and dryer is that it's a closed loop. You see this empty port in the wall back here, which is normally like the exhaust for your dryer's hot, wet air. But this dryer doesn't do that. So not only does this dryer use like 1/5 of the amount of power because it's using a heat pump to create heat rather than a heating element, but normal dryers also pump air out of your house, which then needs to be replaced with outside air. And that actually taxes your AC system because that outside air needs to be conditioned and cooled off. But this washer dryer, to dry your clothes, instead harnesses some really interesting qualities of hot and cold air. Cold air can't hold water like hot air can. There's a hot, wet chamber in the front where your clothes are tumbling and drying, and then that hot, wet air is sent to the back where they have a really cold chamber, heat pump. And since cold air can't hold on to as much water as hot air can, it literally rains back there. So just all the water gets kind of squeezed out with the cold. And that's why outside it rains when there's a cold front that comes through. So then that water is just pumped out through this tube rather than pumping out hot, wet air like a normal dryer. Science. The laundry room is also home to my data cabinet. The internet comes into the house here, goes into a router here, and then gets sent out to this main switch, and then into like 5 different Ethernet switches, and hard wires travel throughout the house to spread the Wi-Fi far and wide through 3 separate access points in the ceiling, each controlled by this box here, which is constantly measuring the connection strength from each device and connecting each phone, iPad, or computer to whichever access point it's closest to at a given time. I've even got a couple of outdoor access points that I'm going to be installing because it turns out concrete does a super good job of blocking Wi-Fi. And my truck, Sarah's SUV, and Tommy's car all frequently need software updates because we live in the future. And we're having a spa and a pool built in the backyard this fall. So we'll be hanging out there a lot, outside, doom scrolling through TikTok reels, and just being little Wi-Fi princesses. Out of the laundry room and into the garage, this place, my new studio, also my gym, and the place that I spend most of my time when I'm at home. I put in a mini split air conditioner, heat pump, painted all the walls black, put in this power rack functional trainer thing. I epoxied the floors so I can spill whatever I want and wait as long as I want to clean it up. It's 20 by 25 feet and it's just my space. Bill Morrison lives at this place with us too. He's got his own room and bathroom out of our way. It turns out you can be a married adult and still live with your friends. I honestly don't know why this is so abnormal. A, Bill Morrison is great. He's entertaining, a strong conversationalist, but B, having more people paying into a mortgage means everybody has more money. And I really like money. It just makes me so happy. Anyway, making our way back into the house. Off to the left, we have Sarah's dedicated office. And look at that, the house isn't entirely without a set of double doors. Her rug tells a whole story. She's got a fainting couch and a little treadmill that sometimes she puts under her sit-stand desk to get steps in throughout the day. She's such an efficient millennial manager. Moving into the main area with the gathering room on the left, we ended up throwing away all of the old furniture we had accumulated over the last 10 years and buying all new stuff from West Elm. Mango wood. Who would have thought? This desk is from there. This is mango wood. On our wall in here is a triptych of a photo I took on our trip to the American West through Monument Valley. That's the spot where Forrest Gump decided to stop running and go home. Flipping around the other way is the kitchen with its white cabinets and gold hardware. Something beige aesthetic. I don't know. There's a gas stove and a wall-mounted oven so we don't have to bend over to cook things because we're kind of old. And Sarah went for this white glass fridge and the white porcelain sink. You can actually go into the pantry and like hang out, eat some dry cereal out of a Tupperware. Over in the dining area, we maybe didn't realize just how big a 6-foot table is. When we play cards with my parents, we actually have to pass around this little basket because no one can reach to the center of the table. I pointed this out in one of the build videos, but there are so many things in the ceiling of a modern house. Internet, lights, speakers, cool air coming in, stale air going out. This vent up here is just to regulate air pressure. It's not even connected to the HVAC system. The other side of it is here in our bedroom, and it's basically so if someone ever slams a door, it doesn't cause a different door to swing open in another part of the house. Out the back of the main living area is our owner's suite. Used to be called a master bedroom. It's got this tiny little entryway, a passage to transition from living area to sleeping area. I think Sarah and our interior designer, Jessica, did a fine job making our bedroom feel resort-like. I keep my underwear and socks in an entirely different room from my shirts and pants. If you go through our bedroom and all the way through our bathroom, I ended up with one wall of the walk-in closet. Honestly, I expected to be relegated to the towel closet in the bathroom, so this is a huge bonus for me. I mean, Sarah has more shoes than I have shirts and pants combined. But let's travel back into the bathroom, which has a separate pooping place from a prepping place. Very nice. There's a separate sink and drawers for each of us. Never had my own drawers before in a bathroom. Literally never. Like growing up, I had my brother, and then every time I've had roommates, there's been a shared bathroom. And then we have this shower that's, I guess, so big that you don't even need a door or a curtain. You just walk in. On top of that, it's got 2 shower heads, one straight from the ceiling and one coming from the wall, which I put a double thing on, so I guess there's 3 shower heads in there. And the controls are right next to the entrance, so you don't have to get wet when you first turn it on and wait for the water to get hot. What will they think of next? Going back into the gathering room and then outside into the backyard, we had them put in an outdoor kitchen in the back covered patio, so I can grill meats like a real middle-aged man while everyone else is hanging out in the pool that's going back there. They're starting on the pool this month. Get subscribed for that sweet, sweet content. We've got a fridge out here, a sink, this big glorious gas range, and by the end of the year, there will be a giant screen back here covering the entire yard, which will be all pool and pavers. Also, there's this little sitting area around the corner under the overhang of the house to sit and watch storms on this outdoor couch. And all of this is just the first floor. Going back past the kitchen, there's an entire second story where Tommy, who once dropped the reins to his horse and just left it to walk away, has his own living room, office, bedroom, and bathroom with his own separate home automation network and his own AC controls on an entirely separate HVAC system, heat pump wonderland over here, and a high ground view of the neighbors. An absolute necessity for retired people is to be able to keep watching the neighbors and what the hell they're up to. And speaking of neighbors, people have started to move in, but I'd say about half of this place is still kind of like being in a movie set. So you can just walk around at night in utter silence and no one's around, and it's weird and cool. We have made friends with some of the people that have moved in, and so far so good. I really like my immediate neighbors. It's probably best practice to not dox anyone on YouTube, but hey guys, that cookie dough, right? All of you will be welcome to my outdoor Wi-Fi network. I love this house and I love this neighborhood. I spend a lot of time in New York City. Sarah and I are up there like a dozen times a year for different reasons. But this place is almost like a magical, quiet suburb version of a big city. As I've pointed out multiple times throughout the building process of this thing, my Publix is right there. Our grocery store is next door. It's on the next block. But also a barber, a bank, a Chinese takeout, a sports bar, a McDonald's, Love me a McMuffin in the morning. And in the other direction, there are at least 12 other restaurants. A Target, a fucking Wawa, my favorite gas station coffee. We can just walk everywhere. I put gas in my truck like once a month. It's nuts. I read a lot of what people say on the Reddit groups about big builders who put up these big neighborhoods all at once like this. And a lot of times, a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say. But I have to push back and say this entire process was a joy. This was great. So this is my house, and right there on the next block is the building manager's trailer. I have a warranty, so anything that I find that's a bit off about this house, I can call my Omar. I mean, he's right there, and he'll do a pop by and send someone over to fix stuff. All the workers for the various home building trades are literally on site also building other houses. And maybe it's not always set up like this, but for me, they've always been super responsive. They've been super nice and knowledgeable. And I swear, no one from Pulte is paying me to say any of this stuff. But honestly, Pulte, I'm available if you want me to do promos or something. I work from home. I have no kids. Nights and weekends are like pure free time for me. I told Dale and Corey from the sales office that I was going to put them in one of these, and I thought this was going to be the one. But it looks like I got to the end of the script and we just ran out of time. Those two guys are right down the street. Sarah and I go there sometimes and try to get them to tell us gossip about the new people that are moving in. Anyway, the next video in this series will be a giant hole full of concrete and rebar in my backyard. Goodbye.